podcast to grow with. The clarity is potent. Take a pause in the moment. Breathe deep, let the soul lift. The podcast is to grow with. The clarity is potent. Take a pause in the moment. Breathe deep, let the soul lift. The podcast is to grow with. The clarity is potent.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Dynamic Pause with Coach Angie. I'm here today with two of my favorite collaborators. It's the Gurley and Lee Express. We got Bonita Lee today and Mikkos Gurley coming in to chat with us on the pause. Man, I'm so excited. We've been talking about this for a while, but we finally got those schedules together.
Yes.
It's all good, and we're ready to jump in and just hear what they have to say. Let me tell y'all a little bit about them, and then I'm going to let them riff a little bit and share a little bit more, whatever they feel like sharing today. If we're real honest, if they only talked about what they do, we would be here for the first half hour, because both of them, when we talk about high performing and high functioning, they always doing something. Let me read to you a little bit about them. So Bonita Lee and Mikkos Gurley are the co-founders of Noirpreneurship, a relationship-driven community created out of lived experience and necessity. As Black entrepreneurs navigating spaces where authentic connection, cultural understanding, and collective support were often missing, they realized they weren't alone. They were simply underrepresented. Instead of continuing to search for the community they needed, they built it. Noirpreneurship was created to be a space where Black entrepreneurs and professionals can gather, grow, heal, collaborate, and circulate resources without having to shrink, code switch, or compete.
Yes.
Their work is rooted in the belief that community is not optional. It is essential to sustainability, success, and generational impact. All of that in a bag of chips, because I know for a fact that every bit of that is so true. You guys, tell people a little bit more about yourself.
You know, whenever they asked you to tell a little bit about myself, I have to start with, I'm a Tacoma baby.
Yeah.
I'm an East Side girl. So born and raised in Tacoma, Washington, but my roots are Southern. So both of my parents are Southern. My dad came up here in the military for Vietnam, brought my mom up after they got married, and here I am. And I'm just so excited because I'm a Tacoma native. I'm an educator, spoken word artist, business owner. Like there's so many hats that I wear, but most of all, I'm just happy to be part of the community that I grew up in. And I get to see people. It's great to see people from your childhood and then to meet new people that you feel like you knew forever. Like, you're my girl. Like, I feel like I've known you my whole life.
Somebody told me the other day they thought we knew each other forever. We're like, actually, we don't. Look at it. Not that long ago.
And I literally was like, they're like, oh, y'all been friends for like 30 years. And I'm like, no, but it feels like it.
It really does.
Just a little bit about this Tacoma girl.
Yes. And Mr. Mikkos.
My name's Mikkos Gurley. Also a Tacoma boy. Born and raised Southside Tacoma. I do so many different things. But one of the things I love doing the most is helping others.
Yeah.
And when it comes to owning a business and businesses and helping other people do that, it gets exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we were ever meant to do anything on our own.
Oh, that's so
We were always meant to have community and always meant to have people with us.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that my wife and I are running a business together.
Yes.
A lot of people say, how can you do that? This is my best friend right here. We've been riding since day one.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. I mean, there's so much, like I said, they do so much. And not all of it is about the business aspect of it, but their business was born out of the community aspect and the way that they experience community and the way that they just really engage in community. So it just kind of makes sense what you guys are doing. And I love it. I love being a part of it, watching it grow from the beginning until what it's coming up to you. And it's to the moon and back, right? And so, but at the end of the day, you have to know that the work you're doing is meaningful. Like we talk all the time about how it's not just an everyday networking event. It's definitely got those aspects to it where we can collaborate, meet people to drum up business because everybody wants to do that, but that's not the main focus when we gather. When we gather, it's a different kind of vibe. So I truly, truly appreciate that. And so just kicking it off a little bit here, let's talk about the origin of your pause, the pause around Noirpreneurship. Can you take us back to that moment when you paused and said, we need to build this? And it could be either one of you.
That's good.
I remember I was being told we every year we go somewhere to get away. And I believe it was San Francisco. We went to this time, and when we were there, we were just resting, and baby was like, Freddie, come here, we need to have a conversation. Something's been in my heart since 2020. And we know how that year was. A lot of stuff happened that year. But she said, something's been in my heart, and we have to bring it into fruition. And we talked about it, and we were both on board with that, about how it's hard out here being a business owner. And you don't have the support, or the people that you work with don't look like you. You know, you got to code switch in every space. And like, you know what, forget that. We're going to create something. There's other things that are similar, nothing like this.
Right.
So we said, we got to do it. And it takes work, but you know what? We're willing to put it in.
You want to add anything to that?
I think one of the things that I want to pull out of this and just add on to what Mikkos has said was Noirpreneurship was birthed out of the pause. Like we had to get away so that we could have clarity. And when sometimes you pause and there's so much going around you that you feel like you might be missing something or missing out or not being productive. But a lot of things are birthed out of that pause. And had we not taken that anniversary trip and chose San Francisco and us seeing all these businesses around us, and it was like, you know, it's time. That pause was actually the framework for producing something that was able to soar. So Noirpreneurship was a thought, but within 30 days, it was a company out of the pause that we were able to take. And so I just want that to be known is sometimes as business owners, we feel like we always have to be booked and busy, but actually we need a pause so that we can actually go in the direction that will take us where we're supposed to be.
That's so good. So the partnership portion of this, as co-founders and life partners, because y'all are both, how do you create space to pause together when building something meaningful? You know, what does that look like in practice? And I know you mentioned a little bit about how you came to the pause because you were away resting. So tell me about that.
Well, clarity is super important. And doing this together, we have to take the time to sit down and just be still and just do Noir. You know, because we have so much other stuff going. It's like, okay, now's the time for Noir. And one of our business coaches told us, hey, just take about 3 hours a week. A week, not a day, 3 hours a week. You can give up 3 hours a week. And just make it happen. So we get together, we pause, take the time, do what we need to do, bust it out, and then that week's done, and then we got a set meeting for the next. I think we talked about Wednesdays. Today this year we're going to do a specific day.
A specific day.
Last year we did it and
we could fit it in.
This year we'll be more intentional about that, making that time.
Okay, that's awesome.
So I'm gonna give y'all the tea. A lot of times people are like, oh my goodness, I could never work with my spouse or anything like that. But we believe in our personal life and our marriage as well as our business is whoever does it is whoever's best. They play off of each other's strengths.
That's so good.
And so I am not as good with the marketing piece. But when it comes to bringing in subject matter experts and organizing these pull-ups for the community to go and support, I'm like, honey, I could pat myself on the back. Like that's just in me, right? But I'm the person that I'm like, I don't meet a stranger twice. I meet you once, and then I'm like, hey, what's up, girl? Hey, how you doing? And so it's taking that pause to know this isn't my expertise. This is his.
Yeah.
But then he's like, this ain't my expertise. This is yours. And then it's learning how to navigate in other people's expertise as a cohesive unit. That is so good. The other thing that I want to talk about with the tea moment is you have to be at a place where you can call your person in.
Wow.
Where they don't feel like you're calling them out.
That's good.
So, and I just, to tell the tea and to tell the truth about us is when I see that he's operating outside of his capacity, I need to be the one to call him in.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's like, no, we're going to take a day off. We're going to stay in this bed. We're going to have some Uber Eats.
Right.
We're going to watch a movie. Okay. And we just going to be for a minute. And we are going to intentionally pause. Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he'll be like, babe, you killing it operating outside of your capacity, but I'm gonna need you to like go ahead and go get that massage.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead and come on, let me take you to the water and walk.
Yeah.
Like I need you to pause, right? And I feel like a lot of times we want to be productive, that we start to sacrifice our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual time, just in the name of productivity.
Yeah.
And so I think that those two things are so important, is being able to call each other in and support each other, because I feel like as a business owner, we all are stretched. We all are operating beyond capacity, but you got to have that one person that's able to call you in and be like, boo, I'm going to need you to inhale and exhale. Right?
Yes. And I know we've had a couple of those moments that sometimes when I'm doing something. Actually, yesterday this happened for real. Like I finished something, it's a big thing for me. Like I'm so excited. And I literally heard your voice saying, sis, do you ever pause and celebrate the little things along the way that are going? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, okay. And then another person whose one-liner sticks with me is my editor. He said, honor your seasons.
Yeah.
Honor your seasons.
Oh, that's so
And
good.
I felt so convicted crunchy when he said it, because I realized that that's not what I typically do.
Yeah.
Usually I'll try to work to do whatever I got to do, regardless of the season of life and you know. So yeah, 2025 was a lot of saying, Angie, honor your seasons, as I was walking through that stuff.
I remember that conversation that we had, and it was so uncomfortable because it was like 10 at night. We were on the phone and just like just going through, and I just said, I got something I need to say. And you were like, all right, just say it. And I remember saying, girl, you got to celebrate the little wins.
Yeah.
And like, I remember you taking a deep breath.
I did.
And you were just like, yeah. And that's the part of being in the community where you have those people that can call you in.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's so easy to miss the things that you prayed for. It's so easy to miss the things that you worked so hard for, because now you're working on something else.
You moved on to the next, which is the whole premise of everything that I do, and dealing, you know, working with high performing and high functioning people. It's just before, whether you're picking it or someone's coming to you, you guys experience that a lot, where people are coming to you, especially once you get a reputation out in the community or within family or whatever it is. There's always something else. So yeah, we do. And I love that you said that, because that is a big part of the journey. You don't understand, like, entrepreneurs have to celebrate those little wins. Okay, so cool. I love it. So pausing to breathe. Let's think about culture. What does it mean to create space where Black entrepreneurs can simply breathe? What do you guys notice? What shows up when the pressure is released in the work that you're doing?
Okay. So I will tell you that when people walk in the door and they exhale, it's like that feeling when you get home and you take off your shoes because they know they can bring their whole self. They could be their true self, authentic.
Yeah.
Not having to code switch, which I believe code switching is a form of being bilingual.
Oh,
Because
100%,
I code switch with the best of it. I could be like, hey girl, I have my phone ring. Hello, thank you for calling. Like I'm on that tip, okay? But not having to be exhausted. And that you're going to come to a place where we're asking questions, where we're going to celebrate your success, where we're going to ask you a question of what you need and also a question of what you've done so that we can celebrate you.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of places where Black folks, Black entrepreneurs, business professionals can go and be celebrated, not just for the big thing, but for the small things that lead up to the big things.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that we lose that sometimes because people want to see what you produce.
Exactly.
But that's not the way of our culture. And we have always, as a people, thrived in community. And when you talk about celebrations, ain't nothing like a cookout.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing like a cookout, okay? And I ain't even talking about the food. Let's just talk about the playlist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's what we want. Like, we start with music. Like, we bring in the cookout playlist, right? We want you to know, like, when you come here, take off your shoes.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes and be authentic. And then we get to see people develop into who they are becoming in their business. Like, we just be like, use us as a sounding bar. Like, hold on. Like, be like, hold on, girl. Wait a minute. Is the paperwork in order for that? Like, you want to go after them funds, but you need that paperwork there, right?
Exactly.
And so it's just wonderful to see people be authentic in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, in addition to that, just being able to come and be in community with your peers and seeing people's successes, it kind of gives you encouragement.
Yeah.
Like, oh, if you can do it, I can do it. And then another thing is we don't get
No, we don't believe
grants and we do all this. Well, we find grants, we find things that work for us. We let them know, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that? Because it could be discouraging when you push and you give everything you got toward applying for a grant and you don't get it.
Yes.
And the real thing that sucks is you don't know why.
Yeah.
So then we start to have these conversations like, how do you guys keep getting these grants? Well, let's talk about it. Is your business in order? Is your paperwork?
Right.
You have this. Oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah. So now you're getting some nuggets.
Yes.
To help build you up and uplift you and encourage you so you can go out there feeling confident.
Yes, that's so good. I love how you said the nuggets part because that ties to what Bonita and I were just talking about the small wins as well. It's the small steps in all of it. It's really about a whole journey.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to do the journey with one another and not just come in and do the spot checks.
But like we at Noirpreneurship, we talk about the 4 most common barriers for Black entrepreneurs and business professionals. And it's the lack of community, the lack of mentorship, the lack of resources, the biases that we all have to overcome and discrimination for our community. And so you're getting a little taste of that every time you come to Noir. And little pieces of it we're highlighting so that we can actively, like, seriously, we fighting barriers, right?
Exactly.
So they love that.
I love it too.
We also are supporting the whole entrepreneur.
Yes.
So physically, spiritually, emotionally. So we have subject matter experts come in, tax specialists.
Yes.
Then we have people that are coming in, therapists.
Yes.
Black therapists. And then we have naturopaths. So we're talking about the body.
Yeah.
So it's not just you. When you come to Noir, you're not just getting, we're getting trained on business.
Sure.
Oh, yes, we'll talk to you about that. Yes, you will network. But you might get a naturopath talking about how's your health.
Exactly.
Yeah, I thought I was going to a networking. Yeah, you are. But we're going to give you all of it.
Yeah.
Because if you're sick, what's the point in making money? You won't be allowed to. You won't be able to spend it. You know?
That's true.
That's so it's hitting those pieces that a lot of people miss.
It's so true. Oh my goodness, it's so good.
Wholeness.
So we talked about this a little bit. So if there's not a specific answer, it's okay. We could press on. But in the permission to pause, thinking of that topic, high performing Black entrepreneurs often carry the weight of representation, right? And the pressure to never show weakness.
Yes.
Okay. So how does Noirpreneurship give people permission to pause without feeling like they're falling behind?
Well, I would say we humanize
Mhm.
with people because life happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't basically that we miss people's heart.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when people come and talk about, man, this happened, this thing fell through. Okay, tell us about it.
Sure.
Let's talk about it. Because in that, they can receive healing,
No, 100%.
you know, and they can be like, you know what? I was feeling really down, but when I came in here and I was able to talk it out and vent,
Yeah.
I feel so much better leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so just humanizing with people and just showing up.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when we got Norm, there'll be 5 people. Next week there'll be 10 or 15
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
You know,
Sometimes
and it's not always the same people.
Right.
But we show up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We show up. That's we show up.
And speaking of showing up, I describe that, and I know that that's true on how you guys do that. I know also that you guys show up sometimes feeling this very same thing.
Absolutely.
Very much so. Yes.
So because you're the ones pouring out in that space,
Yeah.
tell me how you navigate that when you're showing up at Noir and you're needing what you're giving to somebody else.
Can I go back to the first
You
question
can.
first?
You can.
I want to address that question because I think that for me as an individual, as a Black woman, now middle-aged sandwich generation, I was like, what is that? Like, it's like whole term now. I think that sometimes people view things of weakness, which is really vulnerability.
Yes.
So I want to just point this out really
Yes.
quickly.
Yes, yes, yes.
There's nothing weak about being vulnerable in a space that's a brave space.
Yeah.
I do not believe in safe spaces. We're Black, we're in America. But I believe there's brave spaces where you could show up, where you could be authentic, where you can tell your truth, where people can hear you and support you.
Right.
And so in those spaces, once you've tested the waters, put your toes in, see the temperature,
Yeah.
then it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay for us to come in and say, I'm exhausted. It's okay for me to say, yo, I showed up for about 100 kids today and they took everything from me. Everything from me. But it's also wonderful to be in a space where people can speak to that, but you showed up. But you're the consistent. But and I'm teaching other generations as well as business owners the beauty in being vulnerable.
Yes.
And for me, when I show up in that space and I'm exhausted, it reminds me that everybody else in there is going through their go through.
Yes.
And as long as I show up,
Mm-hmm.
my go through gets a little bit better.
Patience,
Mm.
meditations, and mirror moments. Mirror moment, that mirror. And I have this affirmation that we do every day. It's called the confession of faith.
Yeah.
So it starts out with, in the name of Jesus, I am the righteousness of God.
Okay.
Therefore, I am the covenant kindness, the covenant favor. The favor of God surrounds the righteous.
Wow.
It's just,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it all, but
Yeah.
it's just something that gets me going and gets me up. Like, you know what? I belong in this room.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not just showing up on my own strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have strength that people can't see.
Right.
That's continuing to pour into me when I have to show up.
Yeah.
Even when I don't feel like showing up.
It's so true.
You know, I don't rely on my own strength.
Yeah.
So I think that that's so important. You know, you got to have those mirror moments.
Yeah. I like that.
Affirmations,
Mm-hmm.
meditation.
I think one of the other things that is huge for me, and you are literally one of these for me.
Okay.
So I call all my best friends my board members, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So you don't get a space on the board until you've been through the fire with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes before I walk into that space, because I know in that space I need to be there for other people.
Sure.
And I need to pour out, I have to call one of my board members.
Yeah.
Because my board members, they will be your cheerleaders when they need to be. They'll call you in when you need to be. They'll call you out. They'll show up on your doorstep. But it's also important to have a community around you
Mm-hmm.
that can understand you
Yeah.
and speak life into to you.
It's so true.
Like when I'm calling you and I'm like, yo, I'm on the parking lot.
Yeah.
I want to get out the car, girl. I'm gonna need you to like help me, right?
Yeah.
And you have to walk me through that. Girl, we be pausing in the car.
Yes.
Doing deep breathing.
Yes.
Like deep breathing. Right. But I think also that's part of that community piece.
Yes.
Like you're walking in individually, but are you really?
Mm.
Because I don't walk in the door by myself.
It's true.
I walk in the door with everything I bring, the ancestors that came before me, the men and women that paved the way, the Black women that sacrificed for me to be able to have multiple companies and be authentic and be 6'2" with purple twists.
Hey.
Like all that, right? But like I think about that. And I never think of it in the terms of what I do or what we do. I think of, and I believe in that, the 7 generations, right? The generations that I'm doing it for, but the generations before me that did it for me.
That's right.
And that's why I'm sandwiched in between there.
Yeah.
And so when I walk in the room and I'm exhausted,
Mm-hmm.
I think about everything my ancestors did.
It's so good.
For us to have the ability to have a podcast and be sitting in a
podcast with each other
right now.
Right now.
Pause it.
What?
To have a Black-owned business
Black
for Black entrepreneurs and business professionals.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't always
it.
like that.
No.
And we're fighting and we're going to still keep showing up, you know? And so there's no sitting down around here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we need to sit down, we sit down for our pauses and rest. But that's it. But that's it.
But we get back on it.
Okay. So moving into more of like your thought process being around negotiation and you know, when I do my pause with people, walk them through that, I'm really walking them through negotiating with themselves or negotiating with what's come up in their clarity moment to make some decisions around that. But these questions, not so much like that, but just be thinking of that mindset of negotiation. So first topic, boundaries in community building, because that's a part of it too, right? When you're creating a community rooted in care and connection, how do you negotiate boundaries, both for yourselves as founders and for the community? And if you've learned anything about that, you know, let me know.
We're both over here chuckling.
Sustainable generosity, because how do we continue to be generous, but yet we have boundaries that we do need to enact? I'm just gonna sit here like this.
Okay. Because I just looking at you like pot or kettle. Okay. Like, don't get it that out either. I or kettle. Okay. Which one you be right?
Yes.
So I think I want to start this over, but I want Mikkos to chime in too. Because this going. First of all, I'm gonna tell you, you got to be okay when people upset with you for holding true to your boundaries.
Yes.
Like, I'd be like, oh, I love you so much, but not more than my boundaries.
Right.
So first of all, for me, I learned from my mentor. So I'm so grateful to have a mentor as well as a dope Black woman therapist, a business coach, a life coach, board members. So I'm flexed, right? But one of the things that I've learned is this. In order for people to respect your boundaries, you need to tell them what they are.
Sure. You
can't assume people know your boundaries.
No.
First of all, you can call me after 8. I'm not going to answer.
Right.
Because that's my boundary.
Yes.
That's my time.
Mm-hmm.
You could ask me for my phone number and I'm going to respectfully let you know that my email address is. Because I don't have enough of me to be responsive to everybody that wants to pull on me. That's true. I also believe that teaching people boundaries helps them have their own.
That's true. Yeah.
And with the pause of my boundaries, I have to remind myself that I have boundaries for different people in my life. For my family, it's one way. For my business, it's one way.
Good. Yeah.
With my board members, I'm going to be real responsible because they're going to answer the phone. Well, why is Bonita calling at 11? What's wrong? Right?
100%. Yeah.
And so I compartmentalize that and I'm really clear on it.
I love that.
It's I am creating boundaries because I want to give everybody 100% of what I'm willing to give.
Yeah.
And if it's not in my boundary, I'm not able to give it.
Sure.
I also come from the standpoint of I don't really negotiate my boundaries, but I do revisit them.
100%.
So I'm not going to negotiate a boundary, but I do revisit them because I might have to have a certain boundary in a busy season that I don't need when it's not as busy, right? And so for me, community boundaries are huge because once you go in a company, everybody will be like, oh, how did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do that? And so one of the things I said, y'all got to show up. Like you got to get it when I'm giving it to everybody else. I don't have a lot of one-on-one time outside of our membership, right? And so I might have 20 at a meeting, 15, 35 or 40. I might have 60 at a pull-up. And if everybody wants, when do I get her?
Mm-hmm.
Because she needs me to have boundaries for her. And she needs me to pause for her, right? And so also I tell people when it comes to community and pouring out, I'm going to pour out in community. But it's rare that you're going to get a lot of one-on-one. And so a lot of people understand that. And I'm not against one-on-ones.
Yes.
But listen, I got a few days on my calendar a month. And if it don't fall in those days, baby, you're going to have to hit it in community. Okay? Show up to Noir. And if you're an ally, listen, you better fit in one of them days because I don't have a lot of them. But I build those in because I know it's a beautiful thing to be able to be in community. But it's even more beautiful when people respect your boundaries.
For me, boundaries are really tied to my sanity and my peace.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna set a boundary, usually it's because it's affecting my sanity or my peace.
Yes. Okay.
One of the things I had to learn though myself, if I can be transparent,
Be transparent. Come on.
is in order for other people to respect my boundaries, I have to respect
Facts.
and hold to those boundaries.
Yes.
Because there's been times when I'm up at midnight finishing some work when I had to set a boundary, say, you know what, I'm not going to be working past this time.
Sure.
Now, there may be an emergency. We do real estate too. There may be an emergency that something needs to happen so the transaction can get in there. I get that, but that's not all the time. So not making that a norm, and also tied to health, making sure you're getting enough rest, setting those boundaries so you're not as stressed. You know, so that's something that's even this year has been even more prevalent to me.
Yeah.
Setting boundaries, one of my businesses, I said I'm gonna set that aside right now because we got too much stuff. Still there, it's still there. But I'm gonna go ahead and set that aside right now because my attention and my focus needs to be over here.
Yes. Yes.
And just being okay with that because
that part.
sometimes be like, oh, but I want to, but I can't do it.
Yeah. And I think that's what I mean when I talk about the negotiation involved, right?
Yes.
Because we do run up against it. And like you said, if we don't do it, then we can't expect anybody else to do it. But we do find ourselves, before we learn that lesson, we find ourselves wanting to punish other people for overstepping boundaries that we don't even hold ourselves. And boundaries really, most of these boundaries that we're talking about can't be overstepped unless we give way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's coming in the house and make you turn the computer on at midnight? Nobody.
Not me. I saw that. Not me. Okay.
You know, or who's making us say yes to the event? You know, no one's making us say yes to the event. It's just hard because when you're community minded, when you're service by nature, you feel some sort of way for saying no to stuff sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Just depending on what those things are. But you get practice. So you get used to it.
So can I chime in right here?
Hold up. Yeah.
Listen, part of maturing in business is unlearning what keeps you in bondage. So me and my therapist did a lot of work on the word no.
Yeah.
No is a complete sentence, but no is also to keep my sanity. And so I want to point out here, and hopefully businesses you hear when I say this, you have to schedule your own list.
Yes.
And that's part of the dynamic pause. You have to put things in your schedule that give you life.
Yes.
You have to go to that comedy show. You gotta go get that massage. Like, and this is one of the things that Coach Angie and I did. We did a joint workshop and broke down the difference between maintenance, self-care, and community care. But you have to learn as a business owner, you have to schedule your bliss. You have to mark things out on your calendar that means something to you. And I'm telling you, I have naps on my calendar. That is because this middle-aged woman, I can't be as productive if I don't get a nap. I have to recharge before I pour back out. And I think people think, and society has taught, especially women, especially Black women, that you're selfish if you're not available. It's so true. It's so true. And that's why I say being mature is unlearning a lot more than it is even learning. Yes. I don't have to be superwoman. I have a whole spoken word about how I took that cape off, folded it, and mailed it back. And all the people that do the music that instantly in my mind, I'm not you. Listen, it's true though. It's so true, but it's so funny though, because I can remember when that song came out, literally still trying to be that. Like we were saying that while we were still doing it. Yeah. And so really it's hearing your own words. Right. And then honor those things. Right. I love the scheduling in piece. That is so crucial and key because it's another way that you can hold yourself accountable. Yes. To the fact that you believe what you're saying. Because a lot of people say a lot of things, you know, at the beginning of the year. And I believe that they're meaningful. I don't think that they're, you know, just flippant. But when life gets to life, it just kind of drops off. But those are ways that you can do something to make sure that they don't. Let me tell you what my mentor does. Okay, my mentor is not going to miss a workout. She got abs, y'all. I'm like, oh, Lord, give it to me. But like, she's not going to miss. It doesn't matter where she is. It doesn't matter what state she is. She going to find the gym. She going to find the heels. She going to walk. Like, and that's part of taking care of your physical and mental health and setting a boundary, right? And so I think that people need to understand, like, once you schedule something in, not only are you holding yourself accountable, you're actually loving on yourself. Loving yourself. That's good.
You're giving yourself something to look forward to.
Yes. Yes.
Because if you want to have the business, or even if whatever your thing is, it doesn't even have to be a business, whatever your thing is, you got to take care of you to get there. You know what I'm saying? And just being in systems all my life, pretty much, that we were cogs. We consider ourselves a cog too. It wasn't like they only considered us a cog. We considered ourselves a cog too. And you just kept running. The thing fall off, then you might get back up. But what about the people who don't? And so what we do know is if you fall out, somebody else is just going to be called up to be doing what you're doing. So don't give in that way without taking care of yourself. Right. And this is a lesson in process. And it's a zigzag sometimes because you get it right and you do 1,000 steps in the right direction. And then all of a sudden you look and be like, wait a minute, I didn't sleep more than 5 hours in the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And so, yes, I love that. Thank you.
Can I tell you one thing that one of I call him my brother. Yesterday we were talking and I said, hey, it's interesting how us Black folks and brown folks and marginalized groups, we have this mentality that we have to work 2 times more, harder than any other group. But yet if we drop dead in that office, we'll be replaced in 2 weeks.
100%. Or less.
I'm not willing to give myself into a grave. And that is my mentality.
The other thing you learn too is that some things that were considered hypercritical enough for you to not take care of yourself and not get your sleep and all that, all of a sudden they're just not that important anymore.
Facts.
We don't have to do that. We can let that wait. Facts. But it was only a have to when you were there.
Can I speak to women real quick?
Yes.
Because see, Coach Angie and I, we be here. 2 weeks? Okay. So I'm just going to put this out here and you can speak to the men if you like to on this. But sisters, which I'm looking at the camera, right? Sisters, I'm going to need you to go ahead and hire a house cleaner.
Ooh.
I'm going to need you to figure it out. I'm going to need you to budget it in once a month if you have to, twice a month if you have to. I'm going to need you to go ahead and figure out laundry's doing too much. Go ahead and get you a laundry service.
Ooh.
I'm going to need you to go ahead.
Love it.
I'm going to need you to look, I'm going to need you to figure out how to budget you in a chef. If you could afford it, even if you could have them do 6 meals a week, just 6 meals. Like if you like me, if you're a juicer, I'm so grateful that my spouse over here juices for me, but there's no shame in you having a house cleaner and you getting a babysitter,
Right.
and you having somebody do your laundry,
Right.
and having somebody clean your house. There is no shame in that. We can't be held to 1920 standards and still want a 2026 woman.
That part.
Something has to give.
Yes.
Because we are shortening our life expectancy,
Yes.
trying to live up to something that has never been done in the history of our lifetime before.
Literally shortly.
So I'm telling you, sisters, I'm calling you in. Go ahead and make the appointment. Get you a house cleaner. Get you a chef. If you can, get you a babysitter so you can do some self-care. And I realize that everybody don't have money for all of it out at once. Whatever takes the most time, try to take that off your plate first.
Yeah.
For me, it's house clean.
Yeah.
Because them baseboards are hard to clean. Okay? I got hardwood floors.
Amen.
So if I could I just wanted her to come in twice a month. That's it.
Yeah.
But that takes something off my plate so that, and don't take something off your plate and put something else there that's work related.
That's true.
I need you to hear that. If you take something off your plate, then leave that plate empty so you can fill up for you.
Yes.
And not pour out for anybody else. Thank you.
Love it.
That's my little peanut gallery.
That was real good. You got something for the guys?
I do.
Okay.
Full House is not the house you grew up in.
Nope.
How your parents or parent
Ooh.
did things is not the way we're going to do it in this house.
Wow.
So just make sure that you and your spouse are in tune and in agreement. All right. Give them some grace, especially if they're working 9 to 5, like you working 9 to 5 or even more. Something's got to give.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to reiterate the fact that this ain't the 1960s anymore. We're in 2026.
Yes.
Let's get together. Let's compromise
Yeah.
and have peace in our home.
Yeah.
Yes.
I told my dad dropped me off so that we could be in one car. And I told my dad, I said, I wish people would understand that partnership, whether that's business partners, life partners, any of that. Sometimes people give 60-40, 80-20, 70-30.
Yeah.
And sometimes you give it 100.
Yes.
But the thing about it is, you gotta communicate.
Yes.
And that's part of the pause for me.
It is.
Like, I'll be on the way someplace and I'll text her, girl, I can't meet you for happy hour. I don't have capacity.
Yes.
And I turn my car, I be in the parking lot and drive right back home and get in the bed for a nap.
Yes. It needs to happen.
But sometimes we gotta understand that if you are over capacity,
yes.
pause.
You have to. And that is true for high performing leaders as well. I think that we skip that rule for ourselves sometimes because we know we have the ability to have a higher capacity than what some other people might work themselves out in. And so somewhere in our brain, we already just flipped the top off.
Yeah.
And then we didn't put it back on at another spot.
Yeah.
It's okay that you do more than somebody else next to you. That's not the vibe here. But what we're saying is you got to know when you're working for excessively over your capacity.
Yes.
It's different than just popping on it for a second because you have to handle something. Sometimes things are time sensitive and you got to just knock it out and you got to do what you got to do. But come on now, you got to be honest with yourself. In that and understanding that regardless of what your level of high capacity is, you still have a cap.
Yes. Yes.
You still have you know what I'm saying? You're going to hit it at some point. So, and then understanding like when we push past that, here's what tricks us is because we still do great work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we had to.
Yeah, we still do great
We
work.
had to learn how to do that.
Yes, we still do great work. And so it makes you think, oh, that's just, stuff doesn't have to be broken in what you're doing in order for you to deserve the pause or to know that that's when you're supposed to take one.
So I'm going to tell on myself.
Okay.
I tell my boss, I'm going to tell myself before you get a phone call. I'm going to tell myself, in November, I was operating way out of capacity.
Okay.
Way too much stress in every area when it comes to, like, I'm the sandwich generation. I'm parenting the parent.
Yes.
Running 2 companies, still doing, another job and being there for my parents and trying to be there for all the babies and all the youth. And my body started to tell me something. I couldn't get my eye to stop twitching.
Oh,
I never have had high blood pressure. Stress. I couldn't keep food on my stomach. Stress.
yeah.
I couldn't sleep past 3 hours. Stress.
That's hard.
And this is why when Mikkos says we support the whole Black entrepreneur, we like to bring this up because we want you to take note that your body's telling you that's too much.
It's too much.
We don't want no heart attacks. We don't want no strokes. We don't want no mental breakdowns. So we have to be listening to ourselves, and you can't listen to your body if you don't pause.
That's true.
100%.
Because if you don't do it, your body will shut down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it'll make you do it.
Yeah.
And what I learned too is that it will give you little signs. Like you were talking about the twitching eye and stuff. There's other things that go on. And so, yeah, I've made some big changes a couple years back, and it was because my body was showing me signs.
Yeah.
They weren't external signs, but when I go to the doctor or something going on, then, oh, wait, what's that? Oh, wait, what's this? And it's like, then it's a whole thing to run it down to see what it is and if it's going to be something serious, and then get there. I'm like, no, you're good. I'm like, thank you, Lord. But after the 3rd time doing that, I'm like, something's got to give. I have to change how I'm living.
Yes.
And the only way that I could do that was to make some of the changes that I made, which I was supposed to make 5 years ago, but I was hard-headed and thought that I could do it a certain way because of my capacity levels. Hello. And so here I am doing it a different way, and I'm so grateful for that, and grateful for the opportunity to have a chance to get out there and get after it again in a different way.
Yes.
Because I'm sandwiching too.
Yeah.
A little bit more sandwich than her. I'm a little bit bigger sandwich, but it's okay. So,
But we still fine.
we
Still fine.
Wow.
But I think the last part on this that I don't want to negate is take care of your health. Go to the doctor, get the mammogram, go do
That's what they tell you to do.
that you need to do on a regular basis. And then also, when you feel like your provider is not listening to you, fire them. Fire them.
Yeah.
Get rid of them. Go get you a 2nd, 3rd opinion. You find a provider who will listen to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's another thing. We'll have one negative experience when we go to check on something for our house, and then we don't go for 5 or 10 years, and then it's stage 3, it's stage 4, and then it's no longer treatable.
Yeah.
And so we need to talk about that.
Yeah.
We have to take care of ourselves. And if you feel like something's off, go talk to another provider so you can get it checked out.
Yes.
Don't let them be like, oh no, you'll be fine. You're not living in my body. I'm not fine.
100%.
And some of us are mature in age to realize, there's some things that change as you mature in age, but there's also things that that's not right. That doesn't feel right. Like, I got 8 hours of sleep. What's going on? I'm still having this problem. Right? And so I just want to just name that, like, as a business owner and an entrepreneur, I have to understand that the investment I have going out is only as good as the investment I have going in.
Yeah.
But we don't talk about that.
That's stewardship.
Can I tell our truth real quick?
Of course.
Okay. That's for all the people that be like, oh, no, we talking about. Okay, yeah, if you need his permission. That's it. I can't rest at home. I can sleep at home. I could chill at home. But when I rest, I got to get away.
Change of environment.
And you know why? Because I was like, I talked about them base boards. My mom was like, okay, you got to You vacuum out the tracks. I see every little thing.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, ooh, my computer's there. Let me go check this email real quick. Then I'm like, squirrel, did you hear that? Maybe we should paint the house. Go get some colors. Like, my mind in my house will not shut down. I have peace at home.
Yes.
But when I want to just totally rest,
Mm-hmm.
we have about 3 hotels in our state that we will go to, and they'd be like, resting. But we come in because we are here to rest. Don't knock on the door. Go ahead and grab my extra towels right now. I don't want to even have to call you, okay? Like, I'm going to come down, get my food, and go back to rest. Like, but I think you also have to have a place where you could do that. I love that I keep seeing these like tiny houses or these little sheds where they have these book rooms and stuff like that. That's a place I probably am gonna put into like on my property.
Yes.
But like it's okay to rest in different places.
Yes. You
right?
gotta get deeper rest when you
And sometimes that pause,
Mhm.
when you come back from that pause,
Mhm.
that's when things are birthed inside of you.
100%.
And so I think about you going to Italy.
Yeah.
And
That was
coming back.
yeah.
And like you came back with so much clarity and on fire. And I was like, man, like I said, I need to go to Italy. What I coming back with, right? But like I think people need to always understand that that's not selfish.
No. And just understanding that. And I think by the time I did it, I realized how much I needed. I was beyond past the point of needing it. But there, of course, I'm human. The guilt stuff still rose up and all that.
Yeah.
But I did good in those moments. And now that's a benchmark for me to look back to say, hey, remember when you did look, I haven't always scheduled it. That's something I just started doing.
Yes.
And realizing, I think I posted about this, giving Adarunka a VIP day.
Yes.
Place.
Yeah.
Giving myself a VIP day to sit down with my business before the beginning of the year. Something that I would do with somebody else.
Yes.
I'm doing for myself.
Yes.
Like this is what's not, and that was a prioritization that I chose, right? And I didn't have to make it all that, but I did on purpose because I wanted to put it on a calendar. And then when I scheduled in some rest, I named it Rest is Resistance.
Yes.
Rest is resistance.
Yes.
We're battling a lot of things right now from an governmental level, societal level,
Yes.
whatever it is, but it can even be spiritual. Rest is resistance.
Yes.
We're not giving in when we rest. We're actually empowering ourselves even more to get after whatever it is that we want to do or that we're called to do.
Rest is resistance.
Yes.
Self-care is resistance.
Yeah.
Maintenance is resistance.
Joy.
Joy is resistance. Community care is resistance. Nothing makes me, girl, we got to go to another R&B bingo.
I know. It's been a minute.
Listen,
Okay.
cut around.
Okay. So moving on, we're going to go to, that was real good. Do you need anything else? Okay. All right. So pillar 3 is talking about innovation, pausing to innovate. Once you get into that whole negotiation with the clarity that came up, then what are we going to do with it? We didn't do it just to hold it. We want to do something with it. So in that vein, healing as innovation, let's talk about that. You explicitly name healing as a part of what happens in your community. In entrepreneurial spaces that often prize productivity, we just talked about that, over wellness, how is centering healing an act of innovation?
So there's controversy with the word healing because I feel like healing in the context of you have to cease a wound in order to address it. But a lot of wounds are not ceases.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So when Noirpreneurship is talking about healing, a lot of times we heal in spaces where we're able to express ourselves. We're able to be seen and heard.
Yes.
That's breaking generational stuff right there.
That part. Yes.
Because some of us, we're not allowed to be seen and heard.
No.
But in this space, we want to see, we want to hear, we want to celebrate you. And we are here for the ouches.
Yes.
I didn't get that grant.
Right.
That funding didn't come through. I need that fund in order to scale my business. But we acknowledge the pain point. And then we are able to sit there with you and different members and different presenters and be like, have you thought about this? And have you thought about that? And have you talked to this person? And we talk about healing in a holistic way because you can heal in community. And we talk about it.
Yes.
Healing, we promote therapy.
Yes. Yes.
We
Yes.
want you to have a space that you can talk to somebody
Yes.
that went to school to analyze your issues, your problems, your hurt, your grief, and give you tools so that it can help you move out of that season.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we talk about healing, we're talking about wholeness.
Yes.
We're talking about seeing you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why we did an activity the last time we got together. We said, give us a success that was personal and a success in your business.
Yes.
And we put them on the walls, and we celebrated each other.
Yeah.
We clapped it up for each other.
Yeah.
We were like, that's amazing. There's some things that came out of there that we like, they members, and we didn't even know y'all did that. So we were like, we're doing this once a month. What is your success for January? What is your success for February? Because sometimes you have to look back so that you could get enough to go forward. I'm going to tell you this analogy, and it's my favorite. And I use this a lot when I do motivational speaking. A lot of people, let's destroy some stereotypes.
Yes.
I was a competitive swimmer for 14 years. And one of the things that people talk about a lot is hitting rock bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But in swimming, when you allow yourself to get heavy enough to sink to the bottom,
yes,
you gain more momentum to push off the bottom to get to the top faster.
Okay.
So sometimes we have to understand that when we're at the lowest spot,
Yeah.
that gives us enough leverage to push up at a higher rate than ever before.
Yes. I love it.
Bottom doesn't mean it's over.
Right.
Bottom means you get to start again.
Yeah.
So I tell people this all the time. Sometimes that pause is pulling you down so that what comes out of you next,
Yes.
you'll do it at a higher
rate. It's that
It's
burst.
one thing to be like you pushing your way to the top.
Exactly.
Let me get these legs down there. Let me push my way up.
Yes.
Because I only have so much air.
Yes. And you're pushing off of that solid foundation.
You're pushing off of a solid foundation that sometimes sucks you there.
Draws you in.
It draws you in.
It's just that showing up,
Yeah.
is healing in itself.
Yes, it is.
Because when people show up, all of a sudden allow themselves to be vulnerable with you. Like if you tell me a struggle and I said, you know what, I struggle with that too. And we can share back and forth the things that didn't go right, but then we reverse it to end on a positive note and say, but this is what I did and it came through. It worked out. Here's some pointers or here's some things that you might want to try. Oh man, I didn't even think about that. Okay. But see, you're able to give us the information we need. We're able to process it.
Yes.
So now you have a sounding board.
Yeah, it's true. And articulating it too, right? Just instead of just it being inside.
Yep.
Because when you don't show up, you may not tell anybody. And if you're an entrepreneur, depending on what your family dynamic is like, you might go home and you're not telling them all these things.
Yeah.
Not like that. You might just come home like, you all right? And then you go on and do your routine and whatever, switch gears and do something else. But coming into a space like Noir, you do get to share that kind of a thing. And what I love about Noir is it really doesn't matter what stage your business is at.
Yes.
You can rock it in there. It doesn't matter. And you get to experience what you guys have just explained, the coming in part and being able to really say out loud if it comes around to you, nah. Kind of reminds me of when we did the PCBA together.
Yes.
Did the whole, what's your percentage to that, kind of vibe. And so I think you can do those kinds of exercises, but they don't work if the environment truly isn't like that. So the cool thing about Noir is it really is like that. And like you said a minute ago, it doesn't matter what the mix is that day when you showed up. Whether it could be 10 2 weeks in a row, but it's a different 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I guess would be true for a lot of things, but what we do there and how we are able to show up there. When I tell people about Nor, that's what I love. It kind of overemphasizing them back. You really can come in at any stage and it's not assumed
Yes.
that you're not professional. It's not
Yes.
assumed. The assumption is that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then if there's something that, if we learn something that might be a little bit less than what we thought it was, so what? We learn that. But we come in with the expectation that the people and the businesses represented here are professional businesses. And then we try to get to know each other.
So, like, being who I am, I always ask this question. For Black entrepreneurs, who defines professionalism for you?
Right.
Because I don't want white supremacy standards of professionalism in my Black-owned business.
You better preach it.
And this is why we say, come authentic,
Yes.
come organic.
Yes.
You want to come in a suit? Come in a suit.
Yes.
You want to come in a sweatsuit outfit? Come in a sweatsuit outfit.
100%.
Because we see you. Now, the things that we consider professional is like, listen, I'm going to need you to respond to the emails. Because you can't be on our website if your website ain't working.
Yes.
I need your website. Make sure your domain. Pay your GoDaddy. Okay? This is our level of professionalism.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like people labeling professionalism for us, how we dress, what we look like, I destroy every stereotype. I'm going to have my hoop earrings. I'm never changing my hair from purple. My fedora's on the floor because it's headphones, which too big for my head. Listen. But but part of us being professional is being authentic.
Yeah.
And I need more people to understand that. Like, but you know, you're gonna have to have the hot sauce if you're selling the greens at your soul food restaurant. That to me is professionalism. But also showing up authentically and organically is also professionalism.
100%.
Because it allows us to explore the uniqueness that everybody tries to imitate. And I'm gonna leave it there.
We just don't have a moment of silence for every bit that's ever been stolen. Okay. That happens a lot, you know, so I get it. All right. So I didn't even remember what I asked y'all, but this conversation is so good. So, generational impact. Okay. You guys have so much coming and going. But you're building for generational impact. What are you innovating now that you hope eliminates the need for future Black entrepreneurs to build the same thing?
Competition.
Oh, I love that. Yes. Yes.
I love the analogy Mikkos uses a lot, so I'm gonna let Tim go ahead. Go ahead and talk about the breakdown.
Well, you go to the grocery store.
Okay.
There's no shortage of bread.
Yes.
There's no shortage of brands of bread.
Yes.
But all the bread sells.
Yes.
You can do the same thing somebody else is doing. I promise you. I do marketing. I have a marketing agency. I promise you, I cannot market for the world. There's other marketers that are needed. We can collaborate. We can get together. One of the things that people ask so much in Noir is like, do you already have a finance person? Do you already have this? Yes.
Sure.
You're still welcome. Come on in. Maybe y'all need to get together and do a seminar and help us Black folks with some finance on how to manage them. You do not need to compete with each other.
No, that's good.
We got to stop doing that. That's systemic.
Yes.
We got to stop doing that. We got to come out of that, because only when we come together is when we thrive.
That's so good. Yeah.
I think that the number one thing that, and I'll speak for myself and give him space to speak, is I want future generations to see Black folks working together. I want them to see us working together in harmony. I want them to see when we do pull-ups, us pulling up for each other.
Yeah.
Not that, like, y'all, I don't know what it is, but like when I do my spoken word and I get a sister say, yeah, like the way the community and the ancestors just come through her and just like wrap ourselves together. Like I want to show the next generation you could collaborate.
Yes.
You can show up for each other, and it doesn't take away from what you have.
What you've got. Yes.
But that is the biggest foundation that I want. Like I don't need to compete. And it's all right to clap for somebody else who wins, even if you don't win. I forget Miss whoever, another sister won from a different country, and she was just clapping it up, so overjoyed for her. That's why, like, even on my LinkedIn, I think it even says cheerleader. Like, I am a cheerleader. That's from my students to business owners to women to all these different marginalized communities. I will hype you up. I'll be like, okay, polka dots, okay, Air. I'll be like, okay, Jordans. Like, I will hype you up. I'll be like, okay, you got that sale. Like, I want to model showing up, applauding, and encouraging.
I love that.
And I want Black-owned to become commonplace.
Facts.
Right.
For the next, because right now, Black-owned is getting more prevalent.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's still not where I want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be like, okay, is that Black-owned? Be like, oh man, there's so much stuff that's Black-owned now. I got to see who owns that, who owns this, because, and also us supporting each other.
Yes.
Not looking for the cheapest
sure.
one you can find. No. This one's a little bit more, but they look like me.
Yeah.
So if I start something, I want my folks to support me. So I'm going to support them.
Yes.
And as the generation grows up, as the next generation grows up, they see we're supporting each other.
Yes.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, where's the cheapest? No, where's somebody who look like me?
Well, and as you reach certain, when it becomes more Black-owned, like when that happens, then there's a little bit more access to a little bit more things that make the reasons why things are cheaper in other places. It really is infrastructure based. It's like access to certain things that make those prices small, less. And so you got to get there.
Yes.
And so who's better to do that?
Collaborate.
Yes. Collaborate. And that whole thought of collective takes me to my next one. And it's on the subject you guys are already talking about. What does it look like when an entire community pauses together? And have you ever witnessed collective shifts that happen because your community created the pause? Well, you were just talking about some of it, but go ahead.
I think one of the things is this is the part of me like trying to give myself grace. I get invited to so many things.
Mm-hmm.
And I invite people to so many things. And sometimes you just can't make it happen.
Yeah.
But sometimes when you do,
Yeah.
and you see their face light up as you walk in the room, and I love flowers, so I usually bring flowers. I'm just like, you killed that show.
Yes.
Like, I have homegirls that they can act, and I was like mouth wide open, like I had no idea. But when I get to see people in their element and community gets to show up for them, I don't think you can hold a candle to that. But I think the shift of like being in community intentionally, supporting each other intentionally is part of the healing. It breaks the healing.
Yeah.
It creates a deeper trust. It covers the scars.
Yeah. And but yeah, it really does.
The road to economic freedom comes to mind. TPV.
Yes.
Because we had a member there that was selling stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I went up to them and they were like, oh, well, you can get it for this much. And I said, how much is it?
Right.
I didn't come here to get a discount.
I know that's right.
It's business. Let me know how much it is.
And
And then her husband laughed and was like, this is how much it is. And I was like, okay, cool. Thank you. Here.
yes.
Because I didn't come here for the hookup.
Right.
I mean, that's one of my pet peeves.
Mm.
And it's not, I don't even think people realize they're doing it.
Sure.
Like, whenever we go to a pull-up, 9 times out of 10, they'll be like, okay, we're going to give you, no, we didn't come for this.
Yeah.
We came to patronize your business.
That's it.
Support your business.
Yes.
We want full price and we're chipping.
Yes. Exactly.
Because that's why we're here. So that reminds me when you were referring to an event that happened. And also when we went to the Black Rodeo.
Yeah.
That was so, seeing all these Black people being in community, supporting each other.
Yeah.
because all the vendors were Black.
Okay.
So we was all up in there spending money, getting t-shirts, stuff that you would normally buy. Just because you Black, I'm gonna support you.
We got these hats.
You know what I'm saying? You over here, I love your energy.
Yes.
Yes.
So I know I came here with a hat, but I'm leaving with a gun.
Yeah. Double them up.
Just because.
I love it.
You know, so just seeing Black people in community, having a good time,
Mhm.
being able, not having a code switch. Just,
Yeah.
it's like if somebody else came into that space, they may be like, what does that mean? What are they talking about? What is those words? Because we being us.
Right.
One of my favorite things about Black folks is the nonverbals.
Oh,
Like, I literally could look at a woman and just be like, and it's a whole sentence. Like, you ever be in a meeting and you be like, do not look at her. Do not look at her. Do not look at your girl right now. You be trying to focus in this meeting. And you know, one moment, she gonna look at you, she gonna pull these glasses down and be like,
And it's so
and you gonna be like, all right, this is not the place for me to be like, and now with phones, they want to send memes. Don't send me no meme when I send it first. Like, I'm in trouble because I will laugh, right? But I love it. Like, even a point, like you just point at somebody, it's a whole sentence.
yes.
Like, I love it. Like the brothers, they be doing chin ups, sometimes nod down. Like, it's a whole sentence. Like, and I think that that's the beauty of community. Like, we don't even have to say it.
Yes.
And you know, my favorite quote, my Angela she got that, which is they'll forget what you said. They'll forget what you do, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
That is my life quote.
Yes.
I want people to feel my community.
Yes.
Nor want you to feel welcome.
Mhm.
Nor want you to feel like you can bring your whole self. Nor want you to walk in those doors and be like, today was horrible. And for us to listen and then to say, now how can we help it be
Yes.
better?
It's so true.
Because we don't want you to come the same way and leave that
The
way.
same way. Yeah.
Like, and there's enough interaction in there that somebody gonna water something inside you.
It's true.
So that's community. Like, community is life, because isolation is death.
That the pull up and shows, I think, are a great example of just collective pause because people come running in from everywhere and allyship. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
That's a space where everybody comes. It's not just about the members of NOR at that point. So it does something for you too. We want to be in broader community as well because we're here. You know what I'm saying? We're here. But we do need to speak to those things and be able to speak freely to those things that you just described in this whole conversation. I appreciate y'all so much. So think about this for high performing Black leaders listening who are exhausted from navigating spaces where they can't fully show up. What invitation would you extend and what becomes possible when they find their community?
I would say implement self-reflection.
Mhm.
Figure out what works, what doesn't work, and find something in the middle.
I love that.
That's what I would say. Because so many times we can show up and we can be doing things that don't work.
Mm.
And you'll never know it doesn't work until you pause and say, wait a minute, this is not working.
Yeah.
Let's figure out what does work.
Mm.
And without losing ourselves.
Yeah.
Because I gotta be me. I gotta be me. You hired me to be me. Now maybe not the real me. But some part of me you hired me to be me.
That you hired.
So how do I do that without losing me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because I don't want to give somebody what they used to need.
Yes.
And I also don't want to give somebody something that doesn't work or benefit either of us.
Right. Right.
So that's what I would say.
I love it.
Can you repeat that?
Sure. I'll do the whole thing. For high performing Black leaders listening who are exhausted from navigating spaces where they can't fully show up, what invitation would you extend? And what becomes possible when they find their community?
The first invitation that I'm going to extend is please give yourself grace.
I love it.
Please give yourself grace.
I love that.
It's exhausting to suppress who you are. It's exhausting to code switch all day. So when you're outside of that environment, grace your way through life. When you find your community, and I like to say it this way, when you find your people, your people, the people that show up, the people that answer the phone, the people that are consistent, the people that honors your boundaries as you honor theirs, stay there. Even if you hit a roadblock, stay there. Because community, when you find it, it's life-giving.
Wow. So good. Now, I don't think we come across this a ton, but I think it's still present because I think people deal with it a lot. So I'm just going to put it out there. How does community shift the experience of imposter syndrome for Black entrepreneurs who've been told they don't belong in entrepreneurial spaces?
I would like to say, first of all, naming what imposter syndrome is the first step to addressing it. I heard a person that I just adore that's really famous say, I walk in the room and I ask, do I belong here? What? You?
Right.
You? Right.
Would have never known.
I was like, I follow you, like,
Right.
like, you can lead me to water. Like, what you talking about? But I also feel like naming that everybody experiences imposter syndrome to a level of comparison and not feeling worthy, not feeling belong, and naming them.
Yes.
Sitting in a pause and saying, why am I feeling this right now?
Exactly.
I don't think we pause to have that conversation.
Yeah.
I think we just push through.
Or avoid.
Or I would say another one, or crash and burn. Because we're not able to name them.
Yeah.
And like, I love it. And that's one thing about Noir. When we know we have events or other people have events, we try to show up for each other.
Sure. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's just seeing that familiar face when you're in the room that changes that imposter syndrome. Because I'll vow, girl, you got this. I'll be like, boy, you got this.
Yes.
Like, I had a homeboy call me the other day and he was like, should I be charging this? Oh, honey, don't. I said, first of all, there's no value worth you. Because you're not changing time for money.
Yeah.
You're giving expertise for income.
That's it.
Which you need to know the difference as an entrepreneur in that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and on top of that, you speak another language and you worried about that price tag? Boy, bye. I said, send the invoice and blind copy me. Because
that accountability.
Because sometimes you need to tell people, the imposter syndrome is like, it's like the good angel over here, the devil over here. Imposter syndrome here, and like you gotta have another person.
Yes.
But I also feel like owning and naming imposter syndrome helps you overcome it. But not a lot of people know that's what it is.
Right.
And so in our space, and we're able to take a deep dive and we're able to share an experience.
Yes.
Like, because people will be like, oh, I didn't know that's what that was.
Yes.
They don't know what it is.
Yes.
And so if you don't know what it is, and if you're not talking about it, you can't overcome it. But you also have to understand that's why it takes vulnerability.
Yes.
That's why you have to come in there authentic. That's why when you take off your coat, you have to be like, okay, for the next 2 hours in the war, I get to just let it all go.
Yes.
Right? And know that we're going to embrace you in that. But I also think another thing about imposter syndrome, when you overcome it, takes you out your comfort zone so you never return to it.
Ooh. Ooh-wee. Okay. You hear it, right? She's speaking.
Just gonna leave that right there.
Okay. Anything to add?
Just be you.
Yeah.
Be authentically you.
Yeah.
We so many times, and me, I can always speak my truth. When I grew up, my father, he didn't feel good about himself, so he kept putting me down.
Mhm.
And like he would tell me, oh, anything I might did something, oh, that's not right, that's not right. But he would tell other people, oh man, that person's tight, that person's good. So I would always compare myself to people
Right. Right.
that did stuff I was never supposed to do. But I believe that we are all called to do something on this earth. That's why we were created.
Yeah.
And we have to be careful not to compare ourselves
Yeah.
to other people, because other people's journey is not your journey.
That's so good.
And a lot of times when people come into war, we celebrate them, regardless of whether it's a big win or they can, whatever they consider.
Sure.
No, there's nothing small here. You showed up.
Yeah.
Thank you. You know, you showed up. So let's celebrate that. And when they come in and they're not sure of themselves, let's talk about this.
Yes.
Let's talk about this, because I remember a very important person in my life was saying, "Oh, well, I sing and a lot of people tell me I sing well, but when I actually put forth the effort to do an album, they didn't like it."
Oh.
I said, "Then you want for them, but the other billion plus people in this world
That.
that supports you and I tell you that you can sing good, how about we start over?" But a lot of times with imposter syndrome, that one no, or when you don't get accepted, it just strengthens.
It's so true.
It's like, well, maybe I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, forget about that. Maybe you're not for them
Yes.
and they're not for you.
Yes.
But I promise you, you keep at it. You don't accept no. You keep pushing, and I promise you, you'll find the people that you're for.
Yes.
Because your gift will make room for you.
Yes. 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 Yes.
And it will bring you in front of so many people
Yeah. Yeah.
that have been waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We just have to get past that.
Yes.
And the last thing I wanted to say is surround yourself with some people who encourage you,
Yeah.
who see you when you can't see you.
Exactly.
Because when you do that and you're feeling down, bro, get up. Get up. Can't nobody do that like you.
Right.
I think it was one of my mentors. He said, when you are operating in your gifting, nobody can do it like you. Even if you're doing the same thing, when you're operating in your purpose and your gifting, nobody can do it like you.
And I think that's what's lost sometimes in entrepreneurship, because you do start doing a task list of get this, do that, put that there, meet that, all the things, right? And a lot of times, like you said earlier, the business is out there, but it's not out there because your business is not out there yet. So it's new because it's you. If we get very good at bringing ourselves with, that's the distinction. And then it's just learning how to communicate that. Sometimes that's a bigger part of the journey. So I love that you said name that as the imposter syndrome, because that's huge. And for me, once I started naming that that's what it was, now all I have to say to myself, it's a syndrome for a reason. Yes, syndrome for a reason. So like, it's letting me know it's a sickness. It's not, I'm just saying that, but it's off. It's not. So if you're feeling that, it's wrong. Yeah. It's not supposed to be there. Beep, boop, poof, be gone, whatever. But I love the mirror thing, because I think all of these little things add up to being able to stand more in who you are, stand your ground, stand in what that is. And then from that place, what I love about all of this is because from that place, if you notice, we haven't benchmarked a particular business that you have to be doing. Yeah. Because it's not about that. It's entrepreneurship is you bring you. Yes. And you become a great business owner. You know how to be a business person.
Yes.
You can have 10 businesses in your life if that's what you choose to do, but it's about how you show up and what you bring to the table with whatever you're doing, whatever space it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I love it. Y'all, this was so good. And clearly we know how to talk to one another, with one another.
Yeah.
So good. And I appreciate you guys stopping in today to visit with us, do this thing. We're on the pause, Dynamic Pause with Coach Angie and Mikkos and Bonita. Keep watching. We'll have more episodes coming out for you guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
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 Dynamic pause. Take a pause in the moment. Breathe deep, let the soul lift. The podcast is to grow with. The clarity is potent. Take a pause in the moment. Breathe deep, let the soul lift. The podcast is to grow with. The clarity is potent.